It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer, and today we've got a beer from Jubel, Jubel beer. Sounds a little bit French, doesn't it? But I think they're based in Scotland, this company. We'll have a look in a minute. I'm not completely sure. It's a session lager of 4% ABV, cut with blood orange. Based in London, actually. I'm just reading the back of the can now. Kensington Lane, London. Where did I get Scotland from? Never mind. 330 milliliter can. I quite like the can design on this one. It's quite, you definitely know a Jubel beer. I picked this one up in Sainsbury's a little while ago. I've had peach beers from Jubel. I think I've had a lime lager from Jubel. I think this is the type of beer you've got to be in the right mood for it. Because some of them have been quite pleasant, actually. Not beers that you're going to overly remember forever. You know, not like a Cloudwater double IPA type of thing. It's not a beer that's going to be overly memorable, I don't think. But at the same time, it's one of those beers, if you've seen it in a shop, like I've done, you're going to pick it up and you're going to go, you know what, I'll give this a shot. I'll give this a shot. I'll give this a try. And I think that's where these sorts of beers sit. It was probably around between £1.50 and £1.80 a can. Let's get it out into a glass and see what we get. I spoke to a brewery recently and they were telling me, you know, these sorts of beers are brewed for the younger generation. I'm nearly 45 now, nearly 45 years of age, and you know, it's not necessarily kind of aimed at me, brewed for me, but somebody 18, 19, you know, they're going to be all over this sort of thing, aren't they? One finger, white head, good levels of slow moving carbonation, straw coloured lager, looks pretty decent. There's an etching in the bottom of the glass here, so it's probably causing a little bit more carbonation than maybe it would if it was a pint glass. Do I have one? Something like this with no etching on the bottom of the glass. It's aggravating the carbonation. So clear, straw coloured lager. You can definitely get a little bit of that kind of blood orange from here. Let's get that aroma then. Yeah, I've smelt it before. I've smelt this orange flavour before. Maybe it's like orange oil. Kind of orange aero. Orange Terry's chocolate orange. Lovely jubbly. No, that's Del Boy, isn't it? What they call like a lovely jubbly. Like the old jubblies from the 1980s. Lollipop, frozen popsicle ice. What do they call them? We don't call them popsicle. That's Americans call them popsicles. What do we call them? Like a orange slushy type. Lollipop. That's the blooming one. Orange lollipop. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. It's quite, it's a funny one, see. it's a funny one because I was about to say something and then there was a flavour that comes through on the back end that kind of changed my mind. I was about to say how dominant that blood orange flavour is. It is initially. Initially, it's a really dominant flavour. It's kind of like, poof, there's no getting away from it. But then as that goes away a little bit, as it retreats a little bit, that kind of blood orange flavour, you're left with this quite lovely, light wafer biscuit flavour from the malt. And that's probably the saving grace for this beer. That's probably, you're able to overlook a little bit that kind of blood orange because of the finish of the beer, that lovely, crisp, light wafer grain flavour from the malt. It's quite nice. Great head retention. Look at the head retention on the glass. Good lacing on the glass. Nice carbonation. It looks nice. It's quite refreshing. You're going to be buying this for the blood orange, aren't you? You're going to be buying this because it's a little bit like a combination of an alco pop and a lager. It's this new phase, this new wave of brewing for the younger generation, but quite expensive. I thought, well, is it £1.80 a can? Is it really that expensive, I suppose? I mean, I remember Hooper's Hooch and Bacardi Breezers. I always remember them. They were about £1.50 in the pub back then, back 2000 time, 1999. And they were very popular. But those sorts of beers, they have, or those sorts of alcoholic drinks, I should say, they have a lifespan, they have a shelf life. They're here, they get the newspaper articles. I remember Hooper's Hooch had the newspaper articles for a long time, people talking about it, Two Dogs as well. And then it kind of slowly but surely disappeared into a bit of a nothingness. And now you see your likes of Hooper's Hooch, Bacardi Breezer. You generally see them now in places like B&M, Home Bargains. They're not really they take up a very small shelf space in our supermarket and our kind of value store aisles. They're not really taken seriously. And I think that's the danger really of beers like this, is that once the hype goes away, where are they going to be? Where are they going to turn? Where do they turn to? It's okay. It's a bit of fun. Would I drink it in the summertime on a hot summer's day in the garden? Possibly. I'm not a massive fan of that like fake blood orange popsicle flavour, if I'm honest. I quite like the grain, the biscuit on the back end. It's quite nice. A crushable lager bursting with a rush of blood orange. Drench your mouth in this juicy pulp that'll hug your taste buds with every gulp. There we go. Rating for this 4% lager, 330 millilitre. It was between £1.80 and £1.50 a can. And this day and age, not the most expensive beer you're ever going to buy in the world. There's more expensive beers out there. You're probably getting what you're paying for. You're getting a little bit of a novelty. Yeah, will it be around in 10 years' time? Probably not. Probably not. You may be watching this in 10 years' time thinking, bloomin' heck, there used to be a blood orange lager. I wonder what that tasted like. And then it just stays at wonder, doesn't it? And I think that's where it's going to lie. So for me, 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom, cheers.